Greetings, goddesses. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know, I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. And today, I'm calling this the post election goddess circle, just because I am going to be I'm not really trying to dissect the election or anything like that, but just kind of offering space for those of us who perhaps need some extra support. And I actually am in that group. Yes, I am. So hopefully some of y'all will show up live. But if not, that's okay. You can just watch the replay. Um, I mean, I have to be honest with you all. I feel very conflicted. The word I've been using is betrayed. Uh, I knew that the astrology wasn't like definitively for Kamala Harris. I was clear that, I am for her winning for a number of reasons. I really wanted a woman president, but more than that, I wanted democracy to remain intact. The measure of democracy that we have here. Um, but yeah, just kind of being in this place of like, what is this about? What are the answers? Because I thought I had answers, and now I see the answers that I had didn't. No, nope, 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 nope. Hello, whoever's here. How are you? Um, and so the only thing that I know to do is what I have done because I don't actually really have anything else to. I don't have anything else but my oracles. I did a little bit of a reading for myself this morning, just kind of like Oracle, what's the energy? What do you want to tell me today? Uh, I'm not gonna lie, kind of when Trump won the primary and was running against Biden, and everybody was like, Biden needs to drop out, and it was looking like Trump was gonna win. I went through the same thing. It was like a faith crisis. And it's kind of like, how are we back here? What is going on that we are back here where this man is this close to the White House? And then, VP Harris starts running, and it gave me a little bit of hope, but I'm right back where I was. And so when I asked my oracle this morning, just give me a reading, the first card, and I might get emotional this morning, y'all. I can't be anything other than what I am right here in this moment. The first card I pulled is called Geb Positive. And Geb has to do with the earth, and it has to do with health. It's a very positive card. It was pulled in like this energy of like positivity, and this is working in your favor. And I was like, oh, that's nice. It's kind of like the message I got, like everything's gonna be okay. And then the second card I pulled was the ancestor card. I'm gonna see if I can get it. But it was the ancestor card in what is called Hetep. And in this particular oracle, when you get Hetep, it is like the highest, reading that you can get. This one is not necessarily in Hetep, but I don't want to be going through all the cards. But this is the ancestor card. So I pulled this card with like the highest blessings. And I kind of see it as my ancestors letting me know, we got you. We're here. Because this card right here is everything to me. The ancestors, everything. And so to hear from them this morning for myself, it made me feel like, okay, I am gonna have to just go on ahead and lean into faith and stick with this path that I'm on instead of just tossing everything out the window. And it's making me kind of feel like I have to dig deeper into the wisdom and understand it better. I'm in an astrology class right now. And it's like I can't be dependent on other people to help me to understand. I need to be able to look at the astrology and feel confident in it instead of leaning on other people, which, there was not the 2 that I trust the most, they were neither one was like, "Oh, yeah, it's a blowout." That it was kind of like, maybe him, maybe her." So, what they said was true. But they said, she was favored. She kinda had some things that were favorable, but this is beyond just VP Harris's chart. This is beyond that. That's something that's coming to me. 'Cause the thought that I'm thinking is, why am I doing astrology if I don't really know what the truth is? But the message that I just got is beyond just her chart and, how strong of it is or not. It is a lot about what's going on, with the, USA chart, with the energy of the collective, and what has been revealed and dug up in the last 9, 10 years. So, that made me feel better. I wanna share with you all. Oh, hold on, someone made a comment. "Hey, how are you? Our ancestors have been through worse, and in our DNA, we have brilliance and resilience to tap into peace, protection, guidance, and peace." Yeah, I'm glad that you said that, Barbara, because that is actually something that I'm thinking about, and that is, you know, my ancestors have been through worse. They've definitely been through worse, and I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that the United States has gotten to a place where it is just way too people are just way too complacent, and we just think that, everything's gonna be okay. And I thought that this was an opportunity. It looked like people were waking up and getting involved, but apparently, something more needs to happen. Um, but the thought that I kept feeling was, feeling betrayed. I just wanna share this with you all. It's an Odu, which is a spiritual text out of, the Ifa tradition. And it's interesting because this is an Odu that is special to me, Erosun. Some people say Erosu, but I'm just gonna say the whole thing, Erosun. Erosun, work with your ancestors. So there we go, Barbara, bringing up the ancestors again. Doing so much helps to maintain a sense of balance and perspective with and within the universe. So, you know, I see it also as a deepening of our spiritual work when it comes to working with the ancestors. So, cautious behavior is indicated. Each step is critical. So, taking things step by step ensures safe passage and blessings. Careful reflection is needed as you move forward. So, this highlighted part right here is the part that I did that has been ringing in my ears, and it might be something that is meaningful to you. Remain true to form. When you feel like things are not going your way, you may even feel like people or your environment are betraying you. You have to remain true to form. Be your true self. So I just want to offer, that to anyone out there who feels betrayed right now. This is the wisdom of the Odu. Expansion and growth are indicated in order to avoid pitfalls and selfish, short sighted behavior. Logic and common sense should be one's traveling companion on the journey. So that's that Odu, but I did pull another Odu for everybody too. Let me just scroll down, which is a very powerful Odu. It's this one right here, Agbe. So again, what I want to do today is offer wisdom that you can use to connect to within your soul, and help you along your way. Because I don't really have any answers today. I'm just doing with you all what I do with myself when I'm in these kinds of moments. So Agbe, and again, I'll be a little bit emotional because I'm just upset today. So, Agbe, this is a time for expansion. So, there's another one, something around expansion, right? It's also a time for new beginnings, new life, and opportunities. Agbe is like Jupiter. Jupiter is this energy, it's the planet that just really causes things to just get very big, grow, expand. And so Agbe is the same energy because it's not necessarily, it doesn't really care what it expands. It's just like whatever is there, it's going to expand it. It says here, Agbe, and again, this is what I pulled for all of us here in the Inspired Goddess community. It assures the individual. Oh, okay. It assures the individual of victory, evolution, and success. Strong support. It assures the individual of victory, evolution, success, and strong support. And that's from this book here. Oh, okay. So this is what it says. Order and illumination are called for. Strength and vivacity are given from Agbe, but it doesn't discriminate. So use the energy for what you want and not what you do not want. So it's kind of like, I guess I need to be thinking about what I want because I'm definitely thinking about what I don't want right now. So that's good. That's how I'm taking that one right there. Ethical behavior must be chosen. Acquire wisdom and humility. Now, something I want to say about that is acquire wisdom. I really do think that this is for me, and maybe other people can relate. It's about us getting deeper into wisdom. Maybe it's some type of spiritual wisdom, wisdom within yourself, however you want to look at it. But how can we get deeper into the wisdom? And I have a book here that I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that I think it's a little bit of wisdom that I've been leaning into, and I'll share it with you. Seek to address your life and issues from a place of wholeness and not just using your mind. So, the other one talked about using logic, but at some point, it's like you got to look at the whole picture. Avoid, or you have to look at it from body, mind, spirit, emotion. So, that's good. We can continue to look at this world that we're in from a place of spirituality, from a place of emotion, from the physical mundane piece of it, as well as using the logic too. Avoid being scattered and distracted. Focus. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that part. I needed that little part. Focus. Be careful that your logical mind doesn't lead you to an imbalanced place. So, we talked about in the last time I was here, the goddess. I know we were talking about, like Oya and the energy of Scorpio and how this is all about surrender. We have planets in Pisces, and Pisces is about surrendering and letting go. Um, And so I really do think that to a certain degree, we are being asked to surrender because for me, I can't speak for anybody else. I look at what's happening and I'm like, this is bad. And I listen to some of the videos and they're like, well, we could expect this and this and this and that and this and that, all the logical things that are possible. And we cannot get out of noticing with our logical mind certain things, like we need to pay attention, but we don't want to only look at it from that position. We will need to continue to look at this from a spiritual position. And I just remember during the pandemic when it seemed like we're not going to make it. There were so many miraculous things that happened under the president elect that uh I thought, "This is it. It's over." In some kind of way, we made it. And I know people talk about, how things will be now, but to me, there were certain things that happened that defied humans. Enter COVID. You can't like I'm like, this is really ultimately what took that person out of, the office or whatever. But anywho, so I'm just saying that there's different levels that we can tap into. And for me, it's kind of like I really don't even know anything else to do. So want to just share that. Um, so that's the Odu Ogbe. I only did one. I only got one Odu. So I want to talk about this book, Initiation, by Elizabeth Hayes. Now, it's been years since I read this book, but this woman was writing. Let me see if I can find out, when did this lady write this book? It says here, check this out. First of all, she was born in 1897, okay, in Hungary. And at the end of World War II, she was forced to leave Hungary. And so I want y'all to just kind of take in when she was alive. She had something to do with that World War. And I can't fully remember all the details leading up to it, because in this book, there's a lot about Egyptian mysteries and stuff like that. But ultimately, at the end of the story, she and some people are like in some place where they're hiding, and some people are coming to get them, like the police or whatever are coming to get them. And she has this transcendent moment where, it's kind of like I don't know if I need to remember fully, but it was kind of like she shape shifted into a whole new reality. But it was this spiritual liberation. It was this spiritual awakening that happened for her. And that's why I'm feeling like this is the time for us to go deeper into spirituality. And, I don't like this notion, but a lot of times we have our greatest growth when we're under pressure and when things suck. And, our backs up are against the wall is when we really dig deep into our power. And I would prefer it to not be this way. I'm gonna have to shift how I see it, because I'm not happy and I see it as bad. But what I will say is that story about Elizabeth Hayes being in that, it was like a bunker or something like that, where, it's like they are right there getting ready to arrest them. And then she transcends the moment and, you know, I don't know. It was like a shape shifting of her circumstances. And this is a true story. This is not fiction. This is about someone who actually lived. That is what I think we're going to be tapping into deeply, deeply into the power within ourselves. It's that kind of opportunity. Hi, Ashley. Yes, I caught a live. Yes, at work right now. I'm at First Cause and will continue to up level and grow. Yes, I did. I love that, because part of what I do think about this, I don't like it when people say this, but the American people always get exactly who we deserve, because we have the right to vote in whoever we want to. And, it's, and so I don't act like I'm innocent or whatever. Now, I have been pointing fingers. Who voted these people in? I'm looking at the stats. But ultimately, another one is the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's all about just say the prayer, because we all are at First Cause. We all have a part in the reality that we are in. And I think that's part of what this book is ultimately about, is accepting your power, even in a situation where it feels like you're not going to get out of it, accepting your part in it And, that helps to tap the power within, because a lot of times when we're saying no, that's something that can really make things happen even more. I actually kind of thought about the law of attraction. I remember when President Obama was running, and there were some people, not me, hated this man. They did not want him to win. They hated him. And I kind of felt like part of the reason this person that just got elected to office today in the United States um, got it is there were so many anti-Trump, anti. Now I think VP Harris did a good job talking about we need to turn a page and move forward. But a lot of the people who weren't for him, I noticed it was like the anti, his name pack. And so what you say no to, the universe is like it's like I'm matching energy. And so that's part of the power of being at first cause, of saying, okay, where do I have responsibility in this? Because then it prevents you from saying no. And I needed to hear this because I'm saying no this morning. It prevents us from saying no all the time and allows us to get into that place where we can, be in a more empowered place and shapeshift our experiences. Hey, Azizi. So yes, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll start reading this book again and start sharing some things with you all. And I did do a reading from my Metu Netra Oracle. The first card I pulled, I was like very encouraged because this is a card that has to do with great wisdom, blessing. And honestly, I know y'all have heard me tell that story about how I pulled a card that asked, uh, you know, was Trump gonna win? This was back in 2016. This was the card I pulled in Hatep, which is like with the highest blessings. And I'm like, what? What? So I went into denial. I was like, I just didn't do a good job of pulling cards. But he won. Um, and so, I just pulled it asking for some wisdom for uh all of us. So, there is this, it's very similar, kind of sort of like with the Agbe energy, growth and expansion, wisdom. And maybe it's like we need to seek wisdom. We need to live wisdom. We need to tap the wisdom within. We need to be looking into studying wisdom texts, those kinds of things. But when I see that card, I often feel like everything is going to be okay. There's a blessing, there's a gift that's in it. The higher wisdom that also has been coming to me is I want to just share a little bit about my husband because it's connected to that. So last night when I was sitting and watching everything come in, this was, like I don't even think the western half of the country, those 2 time zones were in, Mountain and, Pacific, they weren't even their polls weren't even closed yet. And he said, "I think VP Harris is gonna win." He said, "But you know what? If she doesn't win, it's because this country does not want a woman to be president." And, that rang in my ears as I sat up most of the night, just, like, looking at all the returns and couldn't believe what I was seeing. Well, this morning, I was telling him, I was like, "I feel, like, betrayed. I don't know why the universe has done this." And, and he's trying to make sense of it, and he said something that I thought, "You know what? Sometimes he just says stuff that just I don't see it at first, and then it's like, oh, there he goes." He said, "What if this happened to prevent a lot of violence from happening?" Because I knew after this um, election, there is going to be a lot of upset in this country. It didn't matter who won. I was a little bit concerned for VP Harris because we have next year. I just want to show y'all something. let's see here, 3 major planets moving next year. So we have Neptune that's gonna move into Aries. I wanna say that's gonna be around April. So Aries, I think, stays in a sign for I'm not Aries, Neptune stays in a sign for, let me see here. I don't all the time keep those numbers. How long does Neptune stay in a sign? 14 years. I thought it was 14 years. So Neptune has been in Pisces for 14 years, and it is about to move into a new planet. This is a huge planet, and yeah, it is very slow moving. The slow moving planets, when they change sign, it creates a lot of energy. I'll say it that way. So, like the Neptune, all of this energy around Neptune, excuse me, Pluto going into Aquarius is what pushed us online. It didn't start out with Pluto, it started out with that Jupiter Saturn, landing right there on that 0 degree of Aquarius. And then Pluto has come in and it's just made everything more techie and space age. Um, yeah, it's like AI was really taken off. That's another thing that is really taken off with the Pluto moving into Aquarius. And so, it's like you see a surge. Now, Aquarius was also the sign where I noticed that's where Trump was like really struggling a lot because that's where all the trials and stuff like that took off. So, actually, we have Pluto moving back into Aquarius this month. It'll be, I think, around the 20th of this month. So now we have this planet, which is the next slowest. Pluto is the slowest. And then we have Neptune moving into a new sign. Neptune is going to move into Aries. What is Aries? Aries is watery, it is volatility, it's very masculine energy, and it's about new beginnings, it's the spring, it's about action and passion and initiation. And so with Neptune moving in there, Aries is war and fighting. So with Neptune moving in there, I thought, oh wow, I think there's going to be definitely some unrest here in the United States, with VP Harris. If VP Harris wins, so maybe there's something to what my husband mentioned, about maybe it would be worse. I don't know. But I can assure you there's going to be a lot of volatility. The one thing I will say about Neptune is it's a planet that it's the ocean. And if you take a small little vial of salt and pour it into the ocean, that salt is going to dissipate. It's just going to dissolve. So it's going to be dissolving Aries like things. It's going to dissolve a lot. Now, it could make some people, some places less likely to be able to defend itself or whatever, or it could just make it that people can't actually, really launch a strong military action against other people. It's miracles, and it's like the energy of the divine, connecting to the energy of the divine. It's truly like this energy of transcendence and oneness, and it has to do with compassion and all those kinds of things. And so it's moving into Aries. That is a very, very big deal. And we need to be prepared for that. Then we're going to have eventually Saturn, I think in the late summer or fall. Saturn, early fall, Saturn is going to move into Aries, and it's going to be right there with Neptune. And so when you get two planets together, that creates like a super planet. It's very powerful. And so when Saturn moves into Aries, it's going to create even, some more. It's like an intensification of energy, and then it's gonna kinda settle in. Um, for me, I have thought that Neptune and Saturn here was gonna do something around religion, but I don't know, I feel like it did kinda make people move and become more spiritual, but the more I look at people's spirituality, the more I'm like, people are just religious, and this is like blind faith. Well, I mean, we got people having blind faith in a cult leader, because Pisces can just blind you, Neptune can blind you. It's like you can't see with Neptune. It's illusions also. So, every planet has its positive and its negatives. And so, Neptune being where it is on the day of the election, what was it? Um, no, it's not trying that right now. Where was Mars? Where was Mars yesterday? Let me see who's here. I want to see who y'all are. Yes, Azizi. Yeah. Ancestors whispered to me that this is so in order to EST something and or clear a path for the future. What's EST? Established, maybe. I thought the same thing. Bro Craig thought too. It's like, let them have this. Ooh, I hope you're right. I'm not saying I even have all the answers. Azizi, that makes sense. I don't know why or how, but it does. Just rings true. Hey, still learning. I live in Tennessee, and one of the things that I say about Tennessee is sometimes when things that seem horrific to people in places like blue states, that things that never happen in blue states, but it's kind of like the right is winning. They don't go crazy here. It just reminds them like, okay, everything is good. We're in power, we have control. And even though I don't want to be here, I know a lot of times they aren't acting crazy because they don't feel threatened. And so it kind of goes with what you're saying is easy. Just let them have this because otherwise it could be worse. Woo, that's a good point. Protection, because it would have been a seriously violent situation. It was something that we were all actually really nervous about, you know? And I'm going with Maya Angelou's words. When people show you who they are, believe them. I believe these people plan on doing everything that they said they were gonna do because Trump attempted to do it before. What I do also believe is that they are incredibly incompetent. Um, I saw somebody, I think it was my cousin, talked about how uneducated the electorate is. I heard someone else talk about how the media, and y'all know I have not been happy with the media. Every chance I get to talk about the media, I have done it, with Jupiter being in Gemini. And I mean, I don't watch mainstream media, but I am like, every chance I get to reject the mainstream media, I will not look at it. I will. But what this person said today was the media truly has gone amok. It's totally caught up in capitalism and these rich billionaires. Because let me tell y'all, this is Pluto. Pluto is the billionaire, and Pluto in Capricorn. I really wanted to believe that because it was direct, even though it's in the 29th degree of Capricorn, some kind of way VP Harris could still eke it out. And it was kind of like, yeah, she would still be dealing with this Capricorn energy, and this is not anything against Capricorns out there. I'm talking about the pure energy of Capricorn. Capricorn is oppressive. It doesn't want anyone to have anything that it didn't earn. It is very much like the right. Austerity is the word that I've heard people use. It's very much about austerity. You don't get anything extra. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to give you enough. It's like what's his name? Bah Humbug guy and the Grinch just doesn't wanna give anything. Um, and so we have these billion but it's an energy about power. It wants to control. And so, we have this Pluto in Capricorn, and Capricorn is also corporate structures and entities. So we have these billionaires owning newspapers, which means that they own the media. We have billionaires buying platforms, social media platforms. So they are controlling the narrative. The press let us down. The mainstream press let everybody down, and not, this is what someone else was saying today, and not informing. This is what's actually going on, and helping to really educate people around everything, the candidates, the economy, and, just all the good things that have happened. Um, and so, yeah, we have that going on, and so, yeah, I can't remember. Oh, I was talking about the billionaires. So, yeah. Anywho, we have this Neptune down here, and let me look at the yeah, protection, protection. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit all over the place because I forgot that I was actually going through the comments. I still feel like I'm gonna vomit. Yes. Yep. I don't have I have nothing to say. It's a lot of people feeling that way today. Same, it's yet another tunnel of darkness. Yes. Hello, Vivi Embroidery Queen, Latanya. How are you? Hello, Cora. Welcome, welcome. Yes, establish autocorrect. Oh, okay. Ebenezer Scrooge. Yes, Ebenezer Scrooge. That is Capricorn. So I think it's going to be interesting though to see when Pluto goes back into Aquarius what happens. But there's been a lot of failures in our society. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I'm back to it. So yeah, it's like this lack of education that we are experiencing. It's just like there are so many things that need to improve. The other thing I want to tell y'all that actually has brought me a little bit of comfort, even though it's not like a positive thought necessarily, is when I was afraid around earlier this year before President Biden dropped out of the race, and it was kind of like, oh, it looks like Donald Trump might win. I said, let me look at the history behind the French Revolution, because we're going through our Pluto return. This is it. This is how we're ending it. And that French Revolution ended pretty badly. It ended pretty badly. But they weren't the same. They weren't exactly the same at the end of the revolution, but it was still pretty bad. And I thought, well, I mean, we have lived in a lot of luxury and stuff like that, better than a lot of generations before us. And so it's our time. It's our time. This is just how it is with the Pluto return. Yeah, this didn't turn out how I thought it was. I couldn't think of his full name either. It's so true as a Capricorn rising, limits and restrictions, but then it can turn into abundance over time. Yes. And also, Capricorn is a tried and true path. Even though we're going into Aquarius, so with Aquarius, I just think it's important to know that it's a sign of revolution, and it's the sign of the people, which is why I was like, okay, it's been there. Pluto has been there. Pluto is going back. Yes, this looks like it's going to be someone who is forward thinking, and we have a Pluto situation on our hands. The billionaires are running the country even more. I really do believe they have gone all out when what was it, the Washington Post or whatever, whichever one is owned by the Amazon guy, would not endorse Kamala Harris. I'm like, wow, wow. Um, but yeah, so here we are. Here we are. And but we're gonna go into this Aquarius with this Pluto, so that's something to think about. I pulled cards before, so I knew he was going to win, but I don't think he will last long. I see sickness coming his way. I receive it. I will take whatever y'all have. The Saturn glyph is upside down Jupiter. It can flip to abundance after austerity and restriction. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So Saturn and Neptune go into Aries next year. And I really do think that can bring a lot of volatility, combined with Pluto being an Aquarius. Maybe it's like the other thing I thought about too was, we've been talking about the Republicans are going to have to realign. Democrats going to have to realign because I wanted VP Harris to win. I was good when she stepped up to the plate, but the way it happened, it's just like, yeah, that's not a democracy. Pressuring President Biden to quit. We've already gone through the primary and then, I really didn't want a contested election, but it was just I don't think they really were able to take control of the Kamala Harris energy because as soon as President Biden endorsed her, black women, we showed up. We were like, let's go. We ride it on, right? Um, so I don't think they actually really wanted VP Harris. I remember AOC saying that they were talking about getting rid of the entire ticket. But yeah, the Democrats, they when the Democrats do stuff like this, it's like this is why I do my best to tell people it's important to vote, but I don't try to do voter registration through the Democrats. I can't do it that way. I just can't because they will always do something where I'm just like, I don't like that. Okay. So, yeah, we have Saturn and Neptune going into Aries. Then we're going to have Uranus go into Gemini. So I'm in the energy of acceptance. When does that happen? Uranus goes into Gemini. So yeah, we're gonna have Neptune go right in at the end of March. So we may as well say April. Where? Oh, here we go. So Uranus goes into Gemini. Into Gemini um, in July. That is huge. Now it's been in Taurus for about 9 years, I think. 7? Is it 7? I think it stays in the sign either 7 or 9 years. Let me see here. 18. Yeah, 7 or 9 years. I get confused. So it's gonna go into Gemini. It's another outer planet that moves slowly, very big, and it's electricity and it creates wild change. It's part of the reason I think the stock market has been doing so well in the sign of Taurus because Taurus has to do with money. Uranus is there. And so now it's going to go into Gemini and yeah. Initially I was kind of thinking, okay, this is when there's going to be a really big shift of some sort with the media. Oh, I think what I was saying earlier is I just really see all of this as like there's so much that needs to be fixed. is go get started next year. Is, we really and truly need to be kind of holding the energy of peace. Um, Thankfully, Uranus in Gemini will kind of match that Saturn and Neptune in Aries, so that will help, and it will also trine Pluto. So that brings, some energy of support for us. So yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on next year, y'all. So I just wanted to make sure I let you all know because we need to be ready. Flip the Saturn. So let me tell you how it gets flipped. It gets flipped by people doing the hard things, doing doing the hard work, staying committed, staying devoted. It's like having a lot of endurance to see a thing all the way through. All about being excellent. And so Saturn gives after hard work and people having to do and people having to really work super hard. Um it's like a sacrifice. It's interesting because when Biden and Trump were still running against each other, I remember Biden's son you notice they did not talk about Hunter Biden after Biden left the race. Isn't that ridiculous? This man's life is ruined. I mean, folks, he did he got in trouble because they found something was true. But still, it's like, wow. But anywho, Biden's son got indicted or convicted and of a felony. I was like, okay, that's his sacrifice. But then, Trump's alleged. I want to know from y'all, do y'all think Trump actually got hit? I think he did, but I find it intriguing that people think it was still not, it was a setup. I think it all goes back to awakening in mass in 2020. That's interesting. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, nothing has actually been well, I mean, to me, Biden did bring stability. I think Biden and his administration has brought prosperity. I'm so grateful for that administration because I'm one of the ones who got their student loans forgiven because that's what was in my promissory note. I have forgotten that, and the government didn't make right on my promissory note. So it wasn't just handouts that we've been given. But anywho, but it was a time, 2020 was very volatile. And so, yeah. Aw. Yeah, Azizi, I made a promise to you. I would always show up even when I don't have all the answers. Yes, I live by it when Saturn kicks my behind. I think the most sought after phrase or word on Google or most search engines is 2020 was spirituality or anything pertaining to spirituality. It's interesting, still learning because I actually feel like I thought to myself, people gonna be more spiritual. we go, we'll be more spiritual. We'll go deeper. Yes, 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 yes. Interesting. Me too, is easy. I didn't exactly wear my Chucks. I was ready to put them on when she won, and then I was just like, "Why did I buy these Chucks?" Ah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Mhm. Yes, she's a Capricorn. Yes, that's a really good point. Everything has to fall apart to come back together. And so, I mean, that's a Pluto return for a country. Everything has to fall apart to come back together. And there's no one like the incoming president to make everything fall apart. So Mhm. Okay. So let's see here. I do want to pull from my other oracles. Let me pull from the Moon Magic deck first. Oh, you know what? I did not give y'all the second card from this oracle. This is I'm in negative. This is the card I pulled from my Metunetter deck. Neter. The first card I pulled, Tahuti positive. The second card I pulled, I'm in negative. So, and a lot of y'all, the wisdom is the Tahuti. A lot of y'all been offering a lot of wisdom this morning that we can hold on to. Amen. A lot of us are feeling distraught and we're feeling there's a lack of peace because I asked, give us a word for today. So when Amen speaks, it's all about connecting with the divine. It's all about transcendence. And it's kind of like what I was talking about in that book. It's like, how can you transcend what your eyes see? Because with Amen, this is the name of the supreme deity in this religion, this tradition. Amen is the unseen. It is no thingness. It is just being. It is presence. It is consciousness. And what we come to do is to transcend everything until we can get to that state of Hetep, peace, nirvana, samadhi. So, right now we are not in Hetep. The highest reality in Amen is um this no thingness. There you're just at one. This is all about being at one with the great divine, with the presence, with the infinite intelligence of the universe. And when it's speaking in the negative, it's like you're more in the what's happening on the 3D plane, and this reality is what it's almost like what is informing you. So how about, and we've been talking about this all day, Amen is kind of like what's behind the scenes. It's the same energy as Neptune that I was talking about earlier. It's like what's behind the scenes, what's invisible, what's the message behind it all. And that's what we want to connect to right now. It's also, I talked about surrender. It is definitely all about surrendering. And right now, a lot of us, including myself, I am not surrendered. I am upset. I am angry. I am scared. I am not at peace. And so this is all about centering yourself in peace. You want to move into that energy of you're so centered in the ultimate reality that you feel peace. And part of the way we do that is unplug. Like, turn off all one of the things that I saw today is don't doom scroll. That's not gonna be helpful. Unplugging from all the political chatter and talk, maybe unplugging from, look, just reviewing the results of the election and stuff like that. And instead, getting quiet and being with yourself and opening yourself up to receive wisdom from the divine. So definitely, being quiet and more contemplative and meditative is important. Let me see, is there anything else I want to tell y'all about that? Goes back to what Still Learning is saying. Spirituality is moving on up and up and up. So let's see what my moon magic deck has. Hi, Larissa. Welcome. Interesting that we all came together during the last Trump presidency. We were able to go deep. Yeah, that's true. You're exactly right. So maybe I am supposed to be here, like Azizi said, because I'm just like, oh my God, I feel like I let y'all down, and I guess I didn't let y'all down, but it's just like every generation, at least I have bought into this, every generation should do better. And I do feel like I have let the next generations down. But I'm not ultimately in control. It's the collective. Okay. Give us a reading. What do you want us to know today? The G Hive. Interesting. What do you want the G Hive to know in light of where we are post election? Oh, here's another one. Very interesting. Last card. What do you want us to know? Interesting, because I pulled this last week. Yes, y'all are. Y'all are doing the damn thing. I have to get past the no. I don't want this. Once I get into acceptance, I'll be good. Did I put this in here? Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I had been saying I needed to go back to basics and some of the things that I talk about. And my 4-part goddess framework. I want to show it to you all. If I can find it. I think I'll see if I can find it in Canva. Oh, here it is. Come on, move. Yikes. The other thing that I said I'm committed to is doing more initiations. So this goddess framework for purposeful living, awareness to me is like the like the main key. All of these are so important, but awareness is so important. And then allow. You want to allow things to happen. And so I'm not in allowance right now. Allowance I'm looking at is more of like acceptance. And I'm definitely not in acceptance. I'm still saying no. And yeah, it's not helpful, but I'm going to get there, y'all. I'm going to get there. Okay. So the first card that I pulled, interesting. It's the last card of the deck. It's called Shimmering. No, Glimmering. Glimmering. It's the glimmering card. Just looking at that card, it feels inspiring. Let's see here. Glimmering. This is what the universe wants y'all to know. The keywords are unique, gifts, and loving. One of the most sparkling cards in the whole deck, the glimmering, is all the magic of the northern lights manifesting in your life. It is a card of hope, anticipation, and joyfulness. It might indicate that auditions, interviews, presentations, promotions, and graduations are on the cards. It represents an opportunity for you to show what you are made of and demonstrate what you can do, which is what Ashley was just saying. You have a unique set of talents, skills, and abilities that you can draw upon to spread more light in the world. We can all do little things to make the world a kinder, happier place. That's a good one. We each can play a part in fighting poverty, want, ignorance, bigotry, animal neglect, and so on. When the glimmering card shows up in a reading, it is suggesting that you find ways to share your own unique light with the world. You know, it does take me back to 2020 when I was like, all I got is my gifts. So I'm going to share more of my gifts. All of us need to do that. Let's see here. What can you do today that would ease the burden of another? What kindness can you offer to society or to the animal kingdom? How can you lessen the impact of poverty in your local area? Could you donate food to a food bank or animal charity? Could you donate or raise money for a charity that is close to your heart? Could you set up a free library in your neighborhood or a book club, a knitting circle? So these are things that, who was it that said this? It was Maya, one of my little sisters who wrote to me, and she said, I feel like there needs to be more, like there's an invitation for more community that's going to be helpful. And she was like, but I just really don't want to do it. And I was like, hey, create community where you want to create community. So I still stand on that. How can you create community? Perhaps you like baking and might want to donate baked goods or help sell them for a community project. Whatever you have the talents and ability to do it. Do it soon and share the loving light of your kindness out into the world around you. That effect feels counterintuitive to me right now, but okay, I'm listening. It is a card which offers a glimmer of hope to all it touches. Oh, I needed to hear that. So be prepared because this is your time to shine and the world will benefit from your light. It offers a glimmer of hope. Whew, that was good. Oh, thank you. I'm glad y'all feel that way. Oh, thank y'all so much because I'm telling y'all, I'm struggling. I'm so angry more than anything right now. It's just kind of like I said with that one oh do, when you feel like your environment has betrayed you. Mm. It's your compassion and 10 toes down is that gives hope and inspiration. I'm not the next generation. I'm your generation, but you ain't no ways let nobody down. Thank y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you. I guess the mothers are having y'all talk to me because I'm just like, "Mothers, I'm done. It's over." I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was seriously this morning, like, I'm packing it all up, taking everything down, done, done, because I just don't even know what I'm doing here. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Okay, I'll keep going, mothers. I'll keep going. Thank you, sisters. I appreciate y'all so much. Okay, so let's see what this one is all about. Mm. And I think it's interesting. It's the moon stag is the card that I pulled, but look how both of them are lit up like that. So the moon stag, regal, authority, and support. The moon stag is a magical heart holding the full moon in his antlers. He is an aspect of the antlered horned god, and he represents regal power. He is the monarch of the misty glen by moonlight, the keeper of dreams. His power is immense, his strength, the might of combat during the rut. He his strength, the might of combat during the rut. He comes to let you know that you hold a spark of divinity within you and he wants you to tap into it. That feels good. He encourages you to find your own regal power and to expect good things to happen to you and for you. Oh, this is really challenging me. Okay. As he watches over you, his protection is absolute. And once you have befriended the stag lord, he will never leave you to fight your battles alone, for he is there in your heart, giving you courage and making you bold. Isn't that amazing? Certain hearts have long been considered to be good fortune to all who see them, and stags are linked with abundance and prosperity. So, a time of receiving all good things is about to unfold for you. Accept all the challenges that lie ahead, for you have the capacity to achieve great victories in your life if you are brave enough to stand your ground. Wow. It's undeniable. This is some good energy. I mean, these are some good uh readings. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, thank y'all. I appreciate you. Because I'm telling you, I really am just kind of like struggling. Yes, I've been missing everybody too. It's nice to be all connected. So this last one I pulled last week. So we have a glimmer of hope. We have to be brave and courageous, knowing that the stag is with us, the moon stag is with us. That's kind of like Ogun energy as I see it. Waning crescent moon, liminal psychic transition. And I'm not gonna lie, when I did the reading last week, I was just kind of like, this could go either way. I don't really know if I'm vibing this reading as feeling like, you know, the outcome that I want is gonna happen. It did seem a little kind of like, I'm not sure. But anywho, waning crescent. Magical card indicating a time for psychic visions, prophetic dreams, and spooky experiences. It is a liminal time as the moon makes the journey from the end of the current cycle towards the next. Therefore, it is a time of transition. That was the part where I thought, okay, well, we might go into something new, but it's the time of transition. It is a period of leaving the past behind, but taking the lessons learned with you as you move forward into a new phase in your life with greater wisdom than you had before. This is a time of healing and magic, of dream work and self reflection. When you pull this card, it can mean that you are still feeling the pain of old wounds and scars, that you are not fully healed. So be gentle with yourself. A paper cut takes seconds to inflict, but days to heal. Give yourself, this is good, give yourself the time needed to get over any old injury, be this physical or emotional, and take positive steps such as counseling toward better mental health and emotional intelligence. I also believe in tapping and hypnosis and mindfulness. This card is also one of strong enchantment. And if you pull it as your personal card, it would suggest that you have an affinity for magic and spell casting. The waning crescent has very protective energies. So know that you are guarded on your magical path. There's another energy around being guarded and protected. So that feels good. That feels good. The mothers are like, pull it together, y'all. Let us cook. I literally just saw a stag. Wow. On my college campus walking down the sidewalk. Okay, well, there's the double stag right there. Oh, it's a spiritual cocoon. Ah. Mm. Y'all can stay here with me for as long as you want to. I'm going to pull another. Like I said, I'm leaning into my gift of divination. So I just want to pull another from my Mythical Goddess Tarot deck. You know what? We're going to do, I'll stick with this one. Mythical Goddess Tarot deck. What message of wisdom and hope and whatever it is, healing that you have for the goddesses this morning? Ah, that's the card I pulled last night, and it made me like, this doesn't look good. Ugh. Okay. This might be for me. But I will oh no, this is a different card. This is a good one. I like this one. Okay. So the first one I pulled is the Fire Child. I don't know why I feel like I pulled this one recently. Maybe it was for somebody's reading that I did. I don't know. Let's see here. Fire Child. So the Fire Child, it says, let this child's fiery spirit illuminate your inner spark of creativity. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's all about being creative. And it's from the place of your inner child. and it looks like there's a lot around making sure that we tap into our creative energy and our gifts and our talents and using them. So really step into creativity in a childlike way. And then the next one that I pulled is the nurturance card. This one is Virgo. This one has to do with Virgo. And it's all about just slowing down and taking that time to nurture whatever it is that you want to manifest. It says the sweet image illustrates the ease and joy in nurturing the earth's creation. Through self respect and the respect of life, it is easy to revere and care for all of life's creatures. Continue to let your heart be filled with love for yourself and others, nurturing your budding creations into beautiful, right manifestation into the world. So, what really stood out for me is continue to let your heart be filled with love for yourself and others. Okay. And then, whatever it is that you're looking to call into your life, continue to nurture that. The thing that I am also wondering about is this notion. I remember Michael Beckwith said it in The Secret. The power of good is more powerful than bad. But today I'm like, what is going on? Because I don't feel that way. Um, but again, there's a bigger something happening that uh, I think transcends this election. The last one is pessimism. Pessimism. Got some food and settling back in. I love it. Okay, good. Feeling better and getting grounded. Nice. Okay. Wind. Wind has to do with pessimism. That's why I was like, yep, that's me. Very pessimistic. But we're gonna work this out. Okay, here's the card. A woman imagines herself. Oh, this is good. Let's dive into this. A woman imagines herself to be stuck inside a box-like prison of her own making. Her pessimism has created a mental outlook of self-imposed limitation. She is projecting these attitudes into her world and they are reflected back to her. She has trapped herself in the seven dimensions of hell on earth, even though in reality, she could walk out of her self made prison at any time. This card serves as a stark reminder that how you perceive your world and the attitudes you hold toward others determine the quality and choices of your life. Being boxed into a limited, hellish reality can show addiction to negativity and pessimism. Explore and root out habit patterns in yourself of anticipating the worst possible outcome and finding negative qualities in others. Now is the time to give thanks for all you have with a positive new perspective and change your world. That was on point. That was on point. That was on point. And it goes back to when I was talking about this book, how she perceived the world greatly influenced the experience that she was having. And she had such a experience. This is Amen. It's all about transcendence. She had such a transcendent experience from the 3D world because in the spiritual teachings, the 3D world is the least real world. This world shifts and changes based on, our perception. It changes based on how we're looking at things. But then there's the 99%, which is beyond. And when we can allow ourselves to, be more connected with that, then, we're not in a box. We don't get stuck in a box. We're able to have those transcendent experiences. Right. Right. Initiation. And that's her name. Uh, this book is not the easiest book to read. It goes really in depth into ancient Kemetic spirituality. But I think she even had a lifetime. It's kind of coming back to me. I think she had a lifetime that she was in tune with that was from Egypt. And it was being connected to that lifetime that when she had that transcendent experience, she was able to um that's why she was able to transcend whatever that bad moment was. She was able to transcend it. You're welcome, Raven. Okay. Let's do an African goddess deck. Let's see what the African goddess rising deck wants to say to us. Okay, I have this one. I have okay. Mm. Give me one more. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So the first one is Long Bubby Susie. If I'm correct, she's out of Belize. She has to do with shame. So what are these goddesses telling us today? What's this first one? I'll use this one. Okay, what does my soul want me to know? So Long Bubby Susie keeps the children of Belize terrified. She's viewed as a shadow monster. Viewed as a shadow monster, she has the power to kill or nurture her long. Wait a minute. Okay. Viewed as a shadow monster, she has the power to kill or nurture with her long, scary breasts that contain milk and poison. This beautiful Afro indigenous spirit may also be a distortion of the goddess Atabi. And this is what Long Bubby Susie wants us to know. This is all for the sisters who need some guidance after the election. You are beautiful and loved. Every part of you and your journey is beautiful, even the ugliest moments. You have a heart, soul, and breath that makes you beautiful. So, what she wants us to know is you are secretly scared that you are not enough. Shame is lying to you. You are not broken, unlovable, ugly, or unworthy. Shame keeps you small and hiding. Accept yourself now. You are a bright light. Allow yourself to see who you really are. You are doing the very best you can. You are lovable and you are complete. Ooh, the goddess declaration is I am protected. So we got the stag protecting us, and we have Long Bubby Susie. Wow. Hey, Felicia. So the second card is uh Ayan Kosasana, celestial alignment. That's what we're in celestial alignment. Okay. This is a very beautiful card. It's one of my favorite cards. It even looks like the chakras are on there with the colors. Oh, I wrote here, she reminds me of my aunt. She's out of the Zulu tradition of South Africa. She's a high priestess, healer of healers, and the teacher of teachers whose love for humanity makes the corn grow. She dwells in the foamy waters, but is known as the heavenly princess. As above, so below is celestial alignment. Your natural path is to be in alignment with your own divinity. That's what's, that's the theme. It's like we have to connect with The goddess within is how I like to say it. No one can take from you what they didn't give you. Okay. How do you want to feel? Excuse me if I just got loud. How do you want to feel? You think often about what you want, but goddess energy speaks to us in feelings. Celestial alignment is being in sync with the energetic feeling, um, the frequency of the sacred. Everything that you desire is in that frequency. And it kind of makes me think about worlds within worlds. I remember hearing this one woman talk about there was a really bad time, maybe somewhere in Australia where she lived or wherever she lived. And she said that she never noticed it because at the time she was working on her business, that she never tuned into the news, nothing. She just stayed working in her world. And that's kind of how I'm feeling with this. It's kind of like there is the US, there's the local community, there's the state, the local community, and everything. And then there's your world, the world that you create. And it's just important for us to make sure that we are creating our own worlds within the world, like not letting what's happening outside dictate what happens within the world that we create for ourselves. And we talked about having those communities where it's kind of like let's come together, like maybe here where we are doing spiritual work or dancing, book club, whatever it is. Um, Everything that you desire is in that frequency. It's the frequency of this sacred. Match it with your feelings. That is the energy of goddess. And here is um her declaration, her guidance or affirmation. I am always being guided in the right direction. I am always being guided in the right direction. So we are protected and we are always being guided in the right direction. Okay, the last one is Mumbo Jumbo. Mama Jumbo, excuse me, Mama Jumbo. And she says shine. So she's a bush woman, or her element is bush. She's a griot, and it says Goddess Mama Jumbo glitters as guardian of the lush green forest of Guinea-Bissau. If her name sounds familiar, it's because Mama Jumbo's name was misconstrued by colonizers and replaced with the term mumbo jumbo, meaning gibberish. But you know what? Still she shines. You were born to shine, be seen, be heard, be a movement. We need to know your name. We want to learn your dance. Daring to rise and shine starts with the courage to be seen and heard. Your story matters, and someone needs to hear it. Something I think is important is that we keep journals and, journals that we can pass on to people who come after us, whether you have children or not, can share it so that they understand this time. Fear of shining brightly keeps you in the shadows, hiding and shrinking. There's no way to claim your voice and avoid rejection, criticism, and judgment, but you're not for everybody. If everyone likes you, you're not really being you. And her goddess declaration is I am ready to be seen and heard. I resist that, but I'll come on here. I'll come on here. Maybe it's like, are you willing to use your gifts and talents? Are you willing to use your gifts and talents? Where's my little? What do I do with it? Anywho. Oh, there it is. Hmm. Where's my cards? I'm about to go old school on y'all. I'm about to go old school. me see if y'all said something. The twins are here. Okay, right on point. Right on point. Good. You know what? I'm done. I'm just done. Okay. I had another deck. I can't find it. But we'll use this one. This one, I know y'all are gonna love this one. Let me put my glasses on real quick. See if I can just see my little oracle deck. I don't know what I did with it. Okay. Guess this will be the last one. This is from Mayan Oracle. My Mayan Oracle. Yikes. This is one of the first Oracle decks that I ever used. I'm going to show y'all the cards. They're just so beautiful. Let me just kind of go through. Mayan Oracle. Isn't that beautiful? Some of them might be upside down, but anywho. Yeah, Mayan Oracle. So this one is kind of like very mystical. I think that's how I describe it. It's a very mystical sounding deck. So it's kind of like it has like this really good feeling to it. I'm going to start off with just one card. We'll see how far we get with because these explanations are a little bit longer. So please speak to us, Mayan Oracle, as we move into this next phase of life under this next president. Interesting. I pulled the Ish. Ish. This is a pretty nice card. I don't remember exactly everything that it says, but when I pulled it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember Ish. Ish is good. Ish is real good. Okay, I don't even know where Ish is in this deck. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me pull up old Ish. Ish. Page 99. Okay. Oh, interesting. Ish has to do with Pisces. I keep notes when I look at different cards. And this one in particular reminded me of both Pisces and then the energy Haru. Another word for, or another name for Haru is Shango or the sun when we're thinking about astrology. And it says qualities of this card are integrity, heart knowing, alignment with divine will, magician. I remember that. This is the magician, shaman. It has to do with the jaguar. It's a night seer, priest, torchbearer, and magic. Let me go over. Let me start here. Let me just read it. Okay, so it says receiving Ish indicates that magic is afoot. You have drawn the light magician, the jaguar seer. Expand your vision to include the excitement of more magic in your life. Ish offers initiation. Ish challenges you to pick up your wisdom wand. So we've been talking about that today. Living according to the wisdom, studying the wisdom, connecting to the wisdom. Pick up your wisdom wand and embrace the beneficial use of will, your own personal will. Through your presence and simple beingness, magic's dimensional doorway opens. Ish reminds you to align your will with that of the divine and to look inside, not outside, for your answers. I needed to hear that. Through the lens of integrity, examine your motivations and actions. Through the lens of heart knowing, guide, direct, and align your intentions. So it's all about connecting with what you feel in your heart. Think with your heart. Act as a torchbearer for the light. Allow yourself to be danced in divine innocence as a channel for the highest magic. There's something again about that innocence, that childlike energy that we want to be kind of connected to at this time, too. Step into self empowerment. When you align with what gives you joy, expressing your beauty and power, your energy naturally expands to include more of who you are. Nothing and no one outside yourself can give you real power. Mm. Empower yourself, empower yourself by directly addressing the situation at hand. Act with integrity and magical outcomes will naturally blossom. Now, I told y'all that Neptune can bring magic. When it's in Pisces, we have planets in Pisces and Saturn, and we have Venus and Sagittarius and Mercury and Sag. Those are all mutable signs. Jupiter in Gemini can be some shenanigans. Can be some shenanigans. But sometimes out of mutability, something magical happens, okay? So let's look at the shadow. A shadow of Ish is seen in the issues involving integrity, control, personal power, and will. Examine your focus and use of mental power. How are these issues playing out in your life right now? Speak your truth. And act with integrity. Be honest and true with yourself. Own and address your shadow and with self and others. Are you giving away your power by looking for approval outside of yourself? Step into the light of real magicianship that is found in the integrity of heart knowing. So it's all about staying connected to the heart. Use your establish a clear connection with your higher self, who is a light magician already. In the shadow of the magician's cape, you may find feelings of competition or the need for approval or recognition or status. These feelings often indicate the need for power and control. So, this is definitely around power and control. The real magician's cape is transparent to the will of the divine. Release your need for approval and control. Feel your intrinsic worth as a window for the light to shine through. Open to the possibility of magic and miracles in your life. I think some of that talk around worth is kind of like, for me with this election, it's something that I kind of say to myself is it feels unfair. Like, you know, we already know it. For those of us who live, I don't want to say as second class citizens, but you know what it's like to be that person who you're like, I know that I am not the first person that, the powers that be are thinking about. And it can kind of mess with that. But it's all about yeah, understanding our inherent worth and just for me, this reading, all the readings today is so much about making sure that I stay connected with the divine, with the mothers, the great mother, um, and just staying connected with that higher wisdom. And there's something beyond. And I remember feeling that way in 2020. It was kind of like, I don't fully understand everything that's going on, but it was like there's something there and I can't quite see it, but I know it's there. And also, I think for us, it's very important to stay open to miracles. Now, I have to really work from that pessimism card because I feel like I've been doing all kinds of spiritual work and I'm like, it didn't work. That's how it feels. I'm just being 100. Um, but I think it's still important to not deviate from that because at the end of the day, part of what I know to be true is the powers that be will be happy. They're going to be living their best life. And they honestly don't care if I'm happy or sad or not. I have to make that choice. You have to make that choice about the kind of life that you are going to live. And sometimes it just has to be one. And this is where I just really think about the ancestors, where it's just kind of like you think about those old Negro spirituals that they sang that gave them that hope and the energy to just keep going day after day after day when I think about the ones who are here. um so it's just so important for us to make sure that we stay tapped in and tuned in more into the higher power. For me, it is the goddess. It is the ancestors and my guides, the ancient mothers, and making that choice to, create and craft and experience this life that I want, as well as open up to miracles. So, yeah, I wish I could find my other little deck. Once I find it, I'll come back and do another reading. I don't know what this little deck is. Let's look at the astrology for the rest of the month. I probably should do this in a separate video, but I don't feel like getting off right now. Yeah. Let's see here. Why is this not typing? Am I still here? Okay, I think I am here. Snap. Hold on. I didn't even reboot my computer from yesterday, so I don't know. It's kind of like tripping. Am I there? Okay, I'm here. Okay, good, good, good. Oh, there we go. I was about to say, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what is going on here. So yeah, let's look at the astrology. I'm just going to touch on it a little bit. Oh, okay. So I lost it. Okay, good. Thank you, Azizi, for letting me know. You know how sometimes the internet will just do what it wants to do, or the web browser. Okay, so we had that new moon in Scorpio, which I was hoping was gonna help out, but we got what we got. New moon in Scorpio, Mercury in Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius. I mean, those are nice placements because they bring hope and a future, a vision for the future. So that's nice. Let's see here. And then Venus is going to go into Capricorn, which is on the 11th. And so when Venus is in Capricorn, we feel more grounded. We feel, we talked about Saturn and Capricorn earlier, and it's like work hard and have a plan and follow the plan. And it's not really fun energy. That's not to say Capricorns aren't fun, but Capricorn energy itself is like, let's just get her done. Let's get the work done, get it all done. So it's like Venus being in Capricorn, you really enjoy it. You enjoy planning, you enjoy following the plan, you enjoy working hard. It makes it easier for you to feel patient with and just kind of like I can take my time and, really get this done. Venus is a lot of times this energy. Think about Oshun, the goddess Oshun, where, she's fun and flowy. So Venus is like that. But in Capricorn, it's like we just get a little more serious, right? So Venus and Capricorn, I like it because you can get a lot done. So I really, really like that. Oh, also, it's kind of like if you want to work on your health and well-being or something like that, your appearance, Venus and Capricorn might help you come up with a plan to do that. And you kind of are happy to follow that plan. Or Venus and Capricorn might be about being more organized and structured around money and how you spend money. Another thing Venus and Capricorn could do is help you to bring in some boundaries in relationships. Maybe some people are struggling with boundaries in relationships, so that could happen. Yeah. Maybe. I I I haven't believed in that crypto. They talked about it happening in Taurus because Taurus actually does have to do with money. I know that Gemini can be a sign that's like the marketplace sign, but uh, it could happen. I mean, anything is possible at this point. Uh, so then we're gonna have Saturn go direct. So that's nice. Saturn retrograde actually is kind of good for Saturn because Saturn likes to be slow and methodical and take its time. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just haven't really had a handle on Saturn and Pisces. Maybe it could be more regulations around water or more regulations around pharmaceuticals, but I just haven't really paid attention to that. Now, one thing, because Pisces, like I said, could be a little bit of like having blind faith in a religion. I feel like cults have been exposed, especially religious cults, a lot more. Um, and just the hold that they have on people. I actually kind of feel like that's part of the issue with the United States. I don't know if people realize how much we are influenced by religion, religious fervor. Um, I mean, I just have to say it the way I think it Christian, but it's not like to me normal Christianity. It's some other kind of Christianity, but very controlling, that kind of thing. Um, I also kind of felt like Saturn would help us to clean up messes. Um, because Pisces can be so messy. It's just like everything is everywhere. There's no order to how things are around the room or whatever. So I don't really know. I don't really know. But Saturn is going direct. So it definitely is bringing this energy where we're going to revisit some things that we've been focused on. I think it went retrograde around April, May, or something like that. And then we're gonna have that full moon in Taurus, which I'll talk a little bit more about that full moon in Taurus. Let's see here. The full moon in Taurus seems like that one is it's a little bit much. Full Just want to give us something to work on, ladies. Full moon Taurus 2024. Um, oh, okay. I knew something was there, that Uranus is there. So it can create something unexpected. It could be some like an up level. You can get a breakthrough with this full moon. But it might feel a little uncomfortable. But you definitely could get a breakthrough. I'll talk more about it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a stressful moon. It's a little bit of a stressful moon. But I wanna give it proper I wanna sit down and look at everything before I talk about it. And here on the 19th, Pluto goes into Aquarius. So this is the third time Pluto has made an entrance into Aquarius. One thing about Aquarius is I said not Aquariuses. One thing I have been thinking about Aquarius is the power of tech, people in tech. Because Aquarius is definitely a techie sign, so it could definitely be that. But maybe it's gonna be power of the people. We'll see. Uh, technology and AI will continue to explode. Well, let me not use explode. Will be continue to grow and be used a lot in our society. Trying to use more peaceful words. Let's see here. Aquarius is about progress and it's about forward movement. Trump was in office when Pluto was in Capricorn. So it will be something different in that regard. It has to be. He can't do it exactly the same way because the the energy is just different. Neptune goes into Aries uh in at the top of April, we'll just say it that way. And then Uranus goes into Gemini. It has to be different. It has to be. So that it'll be interesting to see. But, Aquarius will really activate a lot of civil unrest also with Pluto being there. So then we have okay, wait a minute. Pluto in Aquarius personally is all about activating your Aquarius house, and it's creating a change or transformation in your Aquarius house. Um so if you are a water sign, it'll be in a house that has to do with your intuition, healing, family. It's definitely like this inner world, something changing and transforming in your inner world. It's truly like tapping the power within. If you are, let me just see here. If you're a fire sign, it's going to be in a social house. So maybe topics around relationships will come to the forefront for you, or something around learning and coaching, science. It could be something like that going on for you if you are a fire sign. For the earth signs, it could have something to do with you making money. Is that right? Let me just double check. I don't keep these things in my mind. I just have to look at Virgo. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So it has to do with making money and working. So maybe there's going to be a transformation for some of the earth signs around how you make money, um, where you work, what you're known for, and to a certain degree, like how are you taking care of yourself? So these are topics that are going to become more and more prominent while Pluto is in that house of Aquarius for earth signs. And then for air signs, it's going to be in houses that have to do with like your life going in a whole new direction, um, your gifts, your talents, and it also could be. Let me just double check one more thing. Libra, it's like your gifts, your talents, eh, change and transformation around that. Maybe stepping into your power. Like Mama Jumbo said, where you're willing to be seen and doing all of this. So. Uh, It definitely I want especially Aquarius is it could be taking your life in a whole new direction. Some change and transformation in your body, Aquarius. But just for air signs in general, it's could be bringing good luck, growth, expansion, just to name a few. That's not all the topics, but I just want to make Pluto is a generational sign and it has to do with society a lot of times. So that's really where we need to start some change happening in society. But yes, I wanted y'all to understand what it means on the personal level too. So then we're going to have the sun going to Sagittarius. Right now it's in Scorpio. Scorpio is all serious and It wants you to go deep, and it's about transformation. It's like death, rebirth type energy. And what are you rebirthed into? You're rebirthed into Sagittarius, hope and optimism. So that will bring, a rise in our spirit a little bit. And it's about gratitude. Now, that's a practice that I think I'm going to have to make sure I do it anyway, but I'm going to have to go deeper into my gratitude practice. Maybe forgiveness. Sagittarius is about forgiveness. It's about traveling to other cultures and faraway places, growth and expansion. And so, with the sun going into Sagittarius, Venus and Mercury is already there. So we're kind of like maybe seeing a glimmer of hope. Maybe that's why people are kind of like, I don't know, feeling a little bit more optimistic than me because of the Sagittarius energy that's there. But it's just gonna get greater when the sun moves into Sagittarius. It's a really good time for Thanksgiving. It's one of the reasons I think we have. I doubt they were thinking about the astrology, but it matches the astrology. Um, and then, of course, we're going to have Mercury retrograde start on the 25th. So we're feeling Mercury retrograde pretty much all month long. We're in that shadow period. Mercury's going to go on a retrograde, and then it's going to be this energy of slowing down and revisiting some things, redoing some things, looking at the plan and changing, and trying to figure out what do we need to change in the plan moving forward. um it's happening in Sagittarius. So yeah, let me see here. Okay. Okay, I hope that this has been helpful to you all. It has been helpful to me to be here with everybody and share and just give y'all some perspective using the oracles to hear from y'all to know that uh, I should keep going and sharing with you all. So I know I shared a lot, but I just needed to just be on here and yep, yep, yep. So thank y'all so much. Giving you all a big hug, sending you so much love. Um, and yeah, I'll find out when I'm gonna be here again. I'll let y'all know for sure next Wednesday I'll be here, but maybe I'll come on again a little bit sooner than that. I am building a Shopify store, so I'm gonna send out an email once I get it all ready for everyone to look at. I really ask that y'all buy something out of my Shopify store. I feel like I have so much to share. One of the reasons I get a little bit down and out is like I have so much to share. I haven't had the best mechanism for selling because then people don't really buy anything. And then I start feeling like, well, why am I doing all this? Just being 100. So I'm going to invite y'all to join me in that Shopify store. Yeah, some of you have, like the ladies who went through spiritual aspirin initiation. I'm going to have to move yours over to a new platform that connects better to Shopify. So you might be getting some emails from me, or maybe you came to a circle or you bought a hypnosis kit or something like that for me. I gotta move. I gotta move to a different platform to make it easier for me. So thank you. Ashe, yes. So happy to share the circle medicine. Thank you all for sharing circle medicine. I've been encouraged by a lot of what y'all have shared too. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. And yes, I will definitely keep you posted. Okay. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. SAI gear. I'll have to look and see how to make that happen in the Shopify store, Ashley. All right, Queens. Well, thank y'all so much. Love y'all. And yeah, connect with you soon. Peace and love.